Hello, we are back, FoxOG here, and we are going to be deciding on which covenant is the best covenant for an arms warrior. We will also discuss why this covenant is the best covenant as we talk about the rotation and the abilities that it gives you. Alright, let's just start it off. Let's start it off with the Necrolords right over here. We're going to test out their abilities. Alright, they have the Conqueror's Banner. Put it over here. Conqueror's Banner. Place a Conqueror's Banner in the ground, granting 20% maximum health and 10% critical strike chance. You and 2 allies within 15 yards of the banner for 20 seconds. While active, spending 20 rage and killing enemies grants you glory. Glory increases your critical strike damage by 1% per stack, up to 30% for 30 seconds. This is also a 3-minute cooldown. So it looks like when we plant the banner, we get the 20% maximum health increase, as well as a 10% critical strike chance for 20 seconds. On top of that, spending 20 rage and killing enemies grants me glory in this circle. And I can get up to 30%, but it lasts 10 seconds longer than the aura than the banner being placed. This does not really work in PvP setting. In PvE, you're moving a lot, especially in Mythics. This might work in a raid setting, but then again, you're spending 20 rage. The only time you're spending rage is when you use your smash or slam and execute, as well as using your mortal strikes. So you're not going to be gaining that much rage, especially in a 30-second window. And critical strike doesn't really do that much for you. Along with Necrolords, you get the signature ability of Fleshcraft. A 2-minute cooldown, you form a shield of flesh and bone around you for 4 seconds, absorbing damage equal to 20% of your maximum health for 2 minutes. So if you channel it for 4 seconds, it stays on you for 2 minutes, which is great. Channeling near a corpse claims their essence to grow the shield up to 50% of your maximum health. This is most effective against powerful enemies. This is not going to be a real concern, especially in PvP setting. There's not going to be any minions around you. I know when you spec down to it in the soul binds that you can be immune while channeling it. As for right now, since we don't have that unlocked, it's not that great. You're not going to really be using it in a PvP settings, but let's go ahead and test this. Alright. So, just going to gain some rage. Signature ability. Might as well just use it. Alright, let's gain some more rage. And then I'm just going to see how much of the rate or the glory that we're going to gain from this. All right, I'm max range, so normally you wouldn't be in this setting. I'm going to plant my banner. I'm going to start spending. I'm going to mortal strike, 2 slams again, slam again. I'm going to use a mortal strike right now, slam more, keep on spending. I'm going to use Call Special to get more rage. It looks like it's staying up as a buff. Oh, let's see. It's over. Okay, I'm not spending anymore. I got 11% extra critical strike damage. That's not going to be that helpful, especially that I have to stand there and hit them. All right, let's move on to Venturion. Let's test the abilities. All right, so for their signature ability, I'm replacing Execute with Condemn. Condemn a foe to suffer their sins, causing up to 2k shadow damage or 2400 shadow damage. Only usable when enemies are above 80% health or below 35% health. 35 because I picked Massacre in my talents right here, which I can execute when they're below 35% health. So this is giving me a great window to do damage. The primary target is weakened and prevents damage to you when they are damaged. Great. If your foe survives the Condemn, 20% of the rage is refunded. So like you're gaining rage while spending it. This is great. Especially since you can use it in your main starting, like right when you come out of the gate, you can start using Condemn. as long as you have rage. This is why we also take Skull Splitter in the talents. I'll be going over that in a second video. Alright, and the next ability that you get is Door of Shadows. So Door of Shadows is a 1 minute cooldown, 1.5 second cast, and then it's basically a teleport. So if I use it, I can just teleport over here, Door of Shadows cast, boom. Alright, in a PvP setting, in one of the Soulbind trees, you can also take it where when you land with your Door of Shadows, it also fears people. Alright, so if you find this information helpful, hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 100 subs. Let me know in the comments down below on what covenant you went and if you think it's the better one. What this rotation is going to kind of look like is once we get rage, it's just going to start spending on a condemns. I know this is a target dummy, so it's not going to be really representative because it's not going to lose that much health. So we're just going to start attacking it right now. I can just already use it since I already got rage. I can use my condemn. I'm just going to use it. Huge condemn here. We can always Skull Splitter, condemn, just keep on hitting condemn. Just feel like a boss when you do it. Get my overpowered stacks, so Mortal Strike hits big, and then I just can keep on using this condemn when they're above 20 or 80% health. This is great in PvP setting. Also, you get a debuff on them. One thing to mention though, one thing that is very important, it's doing shadow damage. So if a rogue uses Cloak of Shadows, you cannot hit them while they're cloaked. Plus side is if one of the attackers or one of your opponents gets bopped, you can still use condemn. Alright, with Night FAE, we get Ancient's Aftershock, 1.5 minute cooldown on it. Unleashes a wave of anima, dealing 2500 nature damage up to 5 targets and knocking them down for 1.5 seconds. It's not on DR, it will knock it down for 1.5 seconds. The ground will continue to expel anima, dealing X amount of damage up to 5 enemies and generating you rage per enemy over the next 12 seconds. Every 3 seconds, while they're standing in this over the 12 seconds, they'll get knocked down. A little interrupt. It doesn't get DR'd as well. Although being in a rotation for PvP setting, the ground anima is not going to be the greatest for you. People are constantly moving. It's great to have a knockdown, especially if you're against a warlock that is using Unending Resolve and you can't really do anything except for stun them or knock them down. You can just knock them down. 1.5 minute cooldown is kind of high in a PvP setting. It doesn't do that much damage in comparison to your execute, which does double the damage pretty much. Oh, maybe not. It does 1,000 damage more. So when we use it in a rotation, it's just going to be a ability there that you're going to use. Along with Night FAE, we also get Soul Shape as their signature ability. You turn into a Vulpin, teleporting 15 yards, moving forward, increasing your movement speed by 50%. You may reactivate every few seconds to teleport again. It lasts 12 seconds. This is great in a PvP arena if like you're trying to get out of a place, because instantly you could just boop, and then you have a 4 second cooldown before you can do it again, and then just keep on doing it. While you're in town, it won't count down, so you just get an extra 50% in running. Alright, let's get out of this. So roughly what it's going to look like for your rotation is when you go up to your target, you can start hitting it. You can aftershock since you get some rage, and we can start spending it. But like this, like the other one, you're just gonna spend your slam until your Mortal Strike comes up, or you're overpowered, so then your Mortal Strike comes up. I might be doing the rotation wrong, I don't know. But it's not really helping you with your endgame goal of executes. Executes, you're gonna do your most damage besides getting your double stack of overpower for your Mortal Strike. Alright, next ability to look at is Kryian. I find Kryian very fun to play. You get a spear. Let's just go over it. Spear of Bastion, 25-yard range, 1 minute cooldown, so it's up very frequently. Throw Kryian spear at the target, dealing X amount of damage instantly, as well as damage over time for the next 4 seconds, or over 4 seconds. and it deals more. It can deal damage to more than 5 targets, but damage is reduced beyond 5 targets, as well as the enemies are tethered to your Spear of Bastion, a vocation for the duration. So if they try to move out of the spear, they'll just get pulled back to it. Along with Kryian, you get the Summon Steward. So Summon Steward, they will give you a vial. Thank you for the vial. And what the vial does is it replaces 20% of your health, removes diseases, poison, curses, and bleed effects on you. You can also use this in in arenas. It's a 3-minute cooldown. Alright, so roughly with the... as well as using the Spear of Bastion, you also gain range. So that's really good. So when you go up to your target, you can first start off by throwing the spear, and then getting your stack. Since you already have rage, you can spend the Mortal Strike, and then you're going back onto your slam rotation until Mortal Strike is up and your stack of overpowered. That's roughly what it looks like. If you find this information helpful, hit the like button. I've chosen Kryian at the start, and I've been playing it for a bit now. For the amount I've been playing, I don't feel like it's that good. I feel like Venturion might have been the better choice, as you're able to do more damage in 2 windows, because you have the above 80% health and below 35 if you spec into it. I'm not saying that Kryian's the wrong choice. I might switch to Venturion for the time being, as it plays into a better rotation. I feel with Kryian you have a higher skill ceiling. There's a bigger skill gap, I believe. We will see later in the season when I remake this guide. If you made it this far, thank you. If you enjoyed the content, hit the like button, as that helps the algorithm. If you like it, others like you may also like it, as it helps you get exposed. This is Fox OG, and we out.